It's blinking.
You got it.
What are we doing?
Hold on, let me look at it.
Oh shit.
I'll edit this out. I'm sorry.
You never edit it out.
I do. It's good.
Yeah, I know it's
I
good.
didn't know. I thought.
I told you.
I didn't realize.
I
that
told
was
you. It's all right. Brian, how old are you?
Shh.
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Go.
Alright, mixing things up a little today. Turning the tables on Brian. My name's Mark. Brian, we've known each other, what, like 25 years?
It's been a long time.
20, I'd say
25. Okay.
Bought 2 Jeeps from you.
Okay, I remember those.
You freaking,
One had a crack pipe in it.
the crack pipe Jeep.
Yes,
yeah.
the crack pipe in that Wrangler. That kid lost his Wrangler. Mark bought it.
Anyway, I thought it'd be a good idea if we turn the tables on Brian today. Maybe show the other side that you guys don't get to see that some of us do. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask Brian a few questions. What do you think?
Okay, guys, let me tell you something here. When I made my video and I said I wasn't doing videos anymore, this is the guy you have to thank for bringing me back.
Thank or hate?
He turned everything around for me, gave me a new format, gave me some good pointers, and said don't let the idiots win. And we're back. So this is a surprise to me. Mark showed up today, and this is a surprise to me. So let's have at it.
He knew nothing about this. So let's start. What'd you do prior to opening your first shop?
My life consisted of building anything and everything.
Did you take shop classes at school?
I was a woodworker.
Woodwork.
I was a woodworker first and foremost.
Okay.
Then I started building houses, I started building boats, and I started building custom kitchens.
I remember that. I remember that inlay that you did in your apartment.
Yes.
In your first shop.
Yes.
Cool. So, when did you think you opened your first shop? You know that one.
I bought my first commercial building in '96.
Really? And that was the Branford shop?
Branford shop, yep.
Cool. Did you ever take any drafting classes in high school?
I did. I did not care for them at all.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
That is not who I want to be. I am not a drawer or a drafter. I'm a maker and a doer.
Probably like 5, maybe 6 years after I met you, you went to a sheet metal foreman school. Where was that, Massachusetts?
Massachusetts. I did go to.
What was that? Tell us about it.
That was a guy named Fay Butler, offered power hammer classes, and I went up there to take patterns off of his hammer because he wouldn't let me just take patterns off his hammer. I had to take the class.
Is that how you made that big hammer?
That's how I made the hammer. I took patterns off an original Yoder hammer in Massachusetts.
Wow. But you did good at the class though, too.
Absolutely.
You learned a lot.
I made all kinds of stuff there.
I remember that. You're walking around like a spring chicken.
That
Chest all out.
That was a long time ago.
Cool. What's something like that cost? I've never done that myself.
The class?
Yeah.
When I took it, it was $1,100, and
Really?
I think now it's probably triple that.
Even still. You were gone for like what, 2 weeks?
It was a 3-day class, but
3 days?
I did some other things out there, and yeah.
Here's a silly one. M37 or M15?
Oh my God, an M15, 715. Absolutely. I had one, you had one, they're fantastic. I love them.
When I brought mine home, my neighbor down the street, really good dude, he's a Vietnam vet, he pulled into my driveway steaming. Why did you bring home that piece of junk?
The engine was a shit mess, but the rest of the truck was fantastic.
Oh, they're cool to look at. So, M37, you don't really,
I don't do
you don't
anything.
think it was a good trade?
I don't do anything with
Do you think that was a
M37.
good trade, though,
No.
when the Army did that?
No. Jeep blood through and through here. Through and through.
It's a little early, but You want to tell everybody about your masking tape?
I don't think we need to bring that up right now. Absolutely not. It's not time for that.
You have-
Maybe at the end.
You have to now.
Maybe at the end we'll come back to the masking tape, yes, but not right now.
How many Jeeps are on your property right now, running or not?
Oh God, probably 40 or so. Yeah, there's a lot of parts in the back, and if anybody needs parts, I have plenty of 2As, 3As, and stuff like that. But I don't advertise them much because the newer generation doesn't want the parts, or they
Can't
don't
work with them.
They don't want to come and they don't want to take a part off, so they just sit there. And when I need something, I go back and grab them from the boneyard.
It's not bad to have inventory.
Not bad to have inventory, but it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah. Well, you got space. You got a tree row.
Yep. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite engine to work on? Do you have a favorite
God,
engine to work
I
on?
don't. I love working on engines, but I don't have a favorite.
No matter any of them?
You know I love the L and the F head,
Yeah.
the Gold Devil and the Hurricane.
That's something we have to talk about still, remember?
Yeah, I do. But I'll work on any engine from anything, and a lot of shops can't do that. But I put that GM 4.3 Vortec V6 together. That was a fun one. I did a 327 AMC Vigilante. That was a good one. The Tornado out of the M715. Some of those engine parts are getting hard to find for, you know, but I do my best. I still got a whole bunch of stuff for a whole lot of engines sitting on the shelf.
Everything's getting hard to find. It's ridiculous out there. When was the last time you went to a movie theater?
I mean, where do you come up with these things? I mean, where do you even come up with them?
When
I
was the
have
last
not
time-
been to a movie theater since I was a teenager.
When's the last time you were
That
there?
is not my cup of tea, man. No. God, no. I don't even think I can stay awake for one now.
Really?
I wouldn't go at night. I'd be sleeping. I'd be snoring in there. No, that's not for me. That is not for me.
I wasn't expecting that. I figured you would at least once with Marina.
Nope. No, sir. A lot of things we haven't done. We don't plan on it either.
Can't be seen in public.
Well, I don't want to go to a movie theater, for God's sake.
Got to put on your going to town clothes.
Listen, I don't have going to town clothes. In case anybody's wondering, I do not have going to town clothes. So if I have to go to a funeral or a wedding, it's going to be the same as I got on right now.
What do you think are the 3 most obvious ways to destroy a 1940s era Jeep motor?
Oh my God.
I stumbled on something on the internet,
Oh my God.
and this gentleman listed 5 things.
5 things you can do?
5 ways to mess up make your Jeep life short-lived with a 40s era
Well, you could
engine.
You could over rev them. You could drive them too fast and overspeed them, and that cuts down on the life. You could never change the oil. You could never adjust the valves. You could just do everything wrong that people don't understand how to do these days, and take a good engine and make it bad.
I'll name a couple of what he said, and
Okay.
you already hit on one,
I'll see.
and see if you agree.
Okay.
PM. Lack of PM. Maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, they when they have points and condenser and stuff like that, you know, you got to get in there and give it a tune-up like it used to get. But that's a thing of the past now.
Lubrication points,
Lubrication.
all that stuff.
Lubrication is, people are just clueless on engine oil and stuff like that. I've got plenty of videos about lubricants and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
a lot of people don't like to listen to me.
Warm-up times. Not allowing enough warm-up time and warming up at low idle.
The
It
best thing
seemed
you-
to mention
best-
that you wanted like 1500 RPM.
Best thing you could do for any engine, gas, diesel, anything, is start it and drive it. Start it and move it.
Really?
The whole warm-up thing is no, that's just a myth.
Extended idle times like parades, things of that nature.
Once the engine is broken in, that's not terrible.
No?
Nope, on a new engine, if you idle it, that's bad when the rings aren't broken in and stuff, but once the engine's broken in, that's not a death sentence.
On a World War II Jeep, the wire cutter in front of the grill,
Yep.
they make those at the factory?
Oh, man.
Or were those booty fabs by the troops?
Hey, I have no idea.
But seemingly it's booty fab by the troops,
I have no idea.
and that's why you never find them two really alike. In a lot of cases, nor fastened identically.
There's a lot of things that are a mystery on a lot of early Jeeps that we might not ever get the answer to.
Yeah. Chocolate or vanilla?
I mean, chocolate for sure. What the hell's the matter?
Gotta be
with you?
chocolate.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
I think I know this one, but what's your favorite color?
Oh, drab.
So it's in the green family.
It's in the green family. Absolutely.
Right, green.
You had green down. Absolutely. Love green.
Well, your two Jeep, your
My two
old
Jeeps.
Jeep was green,
My 66 is
and the
now
one
green.
you're painting is green.
Yes, and the fields are green, and the cows eat the grass, and I eat the cows, and it's a circle of life there, man, with green.
There you go.
Oh boy,
One cool green hat.
where do you think America went wrong with its labor force? Because we don't have one.
I cannot even get started on that. Back in school, when you wanted to be in the shop class or whatever, they made you feel like you were the worst possible human being on the planet.
Just keeping you out of trouble.
If you weren't going to college, you were
Mhm.
looked at like a moron, you know.
Right.
And they made the trades and they made working with your hands a bad thing, and we lost our way, and it's hard to get back. I should have a dozen young kids wanting to work with me,
Right.
and I have not a single one. There's no.
You'd probably attract more 40-year-olds than.
Everybody that comes to the shop, the first digit of their age is a 7.
Oh my God.
Bob that just left,
Yeah.
72.
Really?
Dennis, 73. Don, 71. Everybody that can do anything or help out,
Right, right.
or it's kids that can't even keep up with the 70-year-old guys.
Right.
It's a shame, but that's it. The local guys are all in their 70s that come around here, and that's the only help that I get is every now and again they come around and help me with stuff. But yeah, we've gone astray terribly in America.
I've never been able to find labor, and when I did, it was too late because they're already messed up on drugs or something. And it's too bad. I mean, I've literally given people a raise in the first day they worked. But, 2 weeks later, you find them selling stuff in your parking lot.
Yeah, if you give them too much too soon, it's not.
Well, yeah, but,
No,
just in
sir.
all fairness, it was the thing to do. Because
Well-
he had promised.
Well, a lot of guys have promised, and then they get a spark on them, and they go run screaming and stuff,
I got
and
burns
they
all
never,
over me.
and they never come back. If they get a little something in their eye, forget it. No, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And the few kids that do want to work, they're chasing the dollar so fast they could care less what they're doing,
Right.
as long as they get a paycheck, of more than they're actually worth.
You're right. Right. MIG welding. You think the industry dumbed down MIG welding by wanting to put like a welder in every garage? Because think about it nowadays. Everything's dialed in. You look on the little board. Set it here, set it there.
Absolutely. This is
There's-
the whole
there's
key.
no-
That's the key to MIG welding right there.
There's no real knowledge
No, sir.
of, if you were to set up a machine, take all away that information, turn that knob that way and that knob that way, how many guys would be able to dial it in? I mean, there's plenty of guys that can do it,
There's plenty of good welders
but
out
at
there,
the same time,
but they're all working and making a living and stuff. But you take regular Joes, and everything is MIG, and their stuff falls apart.
yeah, they don't have the full concept of the process.
It's like the guys that learn CNC machining only without ever having time on a regular mill or a
Right.
manual lathe or something like that. And they're missing out on a lot. Same thing with the guys with the welders. They've never had a welding education and looked into it and know what's happening in the puddle, and so they get confused.
Yeah, that's just simply misguided.
Absolutely.
Name a Jeep project you have yet to do that you want to do.
Oh man, I'm almost out of Jeep projects. My welder Jeep project is my absolute favorite.
Really?
Building the frame.
What's the most obscure? Because that one's pretty obscure. That, the snowblower Jeep, but I've seen snowblower
The
Jeeps.
snowblower Jeep fell to pieces. I have an original 3B welder Jeep that absolutely got crushed by the welder. The springs are broken, the frame is broken, everything. That's why I'm putting the upgraded frame, Cummins motor. But that's my absolute favorite project that I don't have enough time to work on.
What's the most, I mean, I've seen the trench digger ones in your shop in Branford. There was a white one, remember that?
Still, that was a post hole digger.
Post hole digger, that was a beauty.
That one is
In its own way.
That was sold. I have a CJ5 trencher. I have a diesel air compressor Jeep waiting for its turn. And I have more.
Air compressor Jeep.
Yeah, that built ski slopes in New Hampshire.
Really?
That was ordered for going up the mountain.
What generated the compressed air? Another motor, or did it do it off its?
There's a massive air compressor in the back of it.
Really?
And they just set the charges with it and blew the mountain with it. That Jeep did it all. They ordered that specifically with the diesel motor so they could go up the hills and not flood out with, have carburetors giving them grief, so they bought the
They didn't
diesel.
have an incline equalizer.
Exactly, and they got up the mountain, and then that mountain was taken care of with that diesel Jeep. And that's in the box too, waiting for its big chance. And I thought, like I said, I thought there'd be kids around and we'd have a million projects going and everybody be learning, everybody be loving the shit out of life, but not the case, man. Not the case.
I know, I get it. I get it 100%. Is retirement a word in our vocabulary today? Or what's the plan?
Listen,
Grumpy old farmer?
If I was to hit the lottery for millions and millions of dollars, I would not change anything I do, but I would cut off all forms of communication. I would throw away my phone, I would throw out the computer.
On your side, right?
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. That's
Winter in the
exactly what I
country,
would do.
Farm, no.
But until I hit the lottery, I'm working and I love what I do. And people can see the passion in my projects.
Oh, sure.
That's why I do as
Absolutely.
many projects as I do. And I try my best for people, and a handful of them appreciate it, and most folks don't realize what it takes to have this much equipment, this much knowledge, square footage. They don't realize what the hell it takes to do that.
No. They don't.
And it's one thing to have a building full of equipment, but if you don't know how to use it, it's worthless.
The other thing is, on the other side, that I didn't have, when I was in business, nearly this amount of equipment or scale of equipment. And people were amazed that I did what I did with what I had. So I was on the other side of that. You know what I mean? But it's definitely, to house the equipment you have, you need a lot of square footage. That's a big son of a gun right there.
Yeah, so it's just, retirement is not for me because I like what I'm doing. I do want to concentrate more on the farming aspect of things because I do love raising food for my family and
Survival.
we take care of a lot of families in town, and we feed a lot of people with just a small scale that we do.
Cool.
But it's the best food in the world. You raise it yourself. No antibiotics, no junk in the cows, no crap in the chickens. It's just good clean living is what I like to call it, and I will keep going as long as I can with that.
I think it's a good plan. What's it cost to get into a cow nowadays?
Too much.
Too much. I know what they typically, or what they were typically worth. Well, that was quite a few years ago. Lots changed.
Everything has changed. Feed is through the roof, and,
Yeah.
and everything it takes to raise a cow.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's something that people don't understand.
So you got yourself a cold saw.
I
What
do
are you
have a
missing
cold
now?
saw.
What's next?
It has to hit me now. You know, I'm not planning anything, but things do hit me,
Mhm.
and then I drag a lot of orphans home. This
Yes, he
this
does.
cold saw was an orphan that needed a home, and so it's here. You know, I get things as I need them, because I can't have anybody do anything for me, because
Right.
it never works out.
Right.
So I have to build all my trusses for that new building, and
That's quite a project.
it is a project, but it's coming along, and you know, we're getting there.
Alright. Well, that's really about all I have.
And all right then, we covered
So-
everything.
We covered a few things.
We covered everything.
Wait a minute, we did skip one.
What do you got?
Well, we covered the masking tape incident.
Oh God, you're the only person.
No, somebody commented on Mark.
So,
They wanted to hear it too.
somebody commented. When was that? Did he say the masking tape incident another time?
I said it in the comments.
Up on the
your
comments
videos.
on YouTube.
Oh, and somebody said something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted to know all
So-
about it, so
so-
I'm a little interested too.
When I was in Brand, when I bought my first building, I was just like, oh God, I don't even know, 20 something years old. I bought a commercial building, and I was just a job whore. I would take anything and everything in there just to pay the mortgage. I was doing anything.
Sales on Tuesdays.
And I was working sometimes 20 hours a day. I built myself an apartment above that building. There was a upstairs area unfinished. I built an apartment. So I would work till I practically couldn't stand anymore, and I'd go upstairs, drop dead, go to sleep. And at one point I put
It's kind of like Chico and the Man.
You damn right. So at one point I put a paint booth in that building, and I was doing a lot of painting. Painting was paying the bills real good. I was painting a lot, and you know, masking a lot of cars off and doing stuff like that. And I worked late one night, and I went upstairs to go to sleep,
What color were you spraying?
and I think I was doing a green pickup truck.
Here we go with the green
I
again.
was doing a green pickup truck, and it was real late. I went upstairs, I went to sleep, and when I finally came to, because I would get up early in the morning, I'd get up before 5 and I'd work till midnight or 2 o'clock or something like that, and I got up that next morning, and I was covered, and I mean covered in masking tape. So I had gotten up in the night, somehow got down the stairs, got into the booth, and when I was masking something, sometimes I'd pull off a few pieces of masking tape and I'd put them on my arm,
Yeah.
and I'd put some paper up and I grabbed a piece of tape like that. Well, I was covered. My arms, my legs, I had it on my neck. I had masking tape all over my body. And then, after that, I tried to get a few more hours sleep every day, because that was just killing. I don't even know how I made it downstairs or upstairs. I never remembered what happened, but man, I was covered in masking tape. It was funny, but it was scary at the same time. So that's the masking tape story.
There
I
you
never
go.
thought of the scary part of it.
That was scary. You wake up and you're covered
I'd
in
be
masking tape.
frightened.
You think somebody's playing a joke on you. Then you go and check the doors to make sure everything's still locked. You know, who did
I'm
this?
the only
to me?
one here.
Who the hell did this to me? It was quite hilarious. You know?
That's great.
So
There you
that's the
go.
masking tape story.
All right.
But you got to do what you have to do. You
It's
know,
out
when
there.
you're starting. When you're starting, you just got to do what you got to do. And that can-do attitude is missing in every young person today.
Yeah.
That video I did with the kid David there, did you see that one?
I did
Kid
see
David?
it. I
That
did.
damn kid's
Very,
22 years
very
old, and he is
impressive.
making shit happen. He is absolutely, you know, I knew him when he was
Brought me
younger,
joy
and
to see that.
I did not expect it. And let me tell you something, he is really, he's got the eye of the tiger. He is making shit happen, and I think it's fantastic.
It's super rare.
It is super rare,
rare.
but
Yeah.
it's so nice when you see it.
It is.
It's so nice when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's the story with that, you know, I mean, it's crazy.
All right. Well, this wasn't that painful, was it?
It wasn't terrible, and like I say, guys, this guy right here, Mark, is why I'm back. And when I do stuff, if you like it, that's good. If you don't like it, listen, I'm going to give you Mark's way to get a hold of him. He set the camera up so that if it's not clear, if it's fuzzy or something like that, he set the camera up because apparently I can't see anymore. You see, I got some glasses on now.
It's
I can't
clear.
even-
Don't
I
worry
can't
about
even
it,
see
Brian.
with the
I'm
glasses.
keeping an eye.
$20.
So, listen, Mark brought me back, so hopefully we'll come up with more things for you in the future. And that's all we got today. So, we'll catch you on the next one.
Like, comment, and subscribe. That's your line.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
See you guys.
Hit it.